There comes a moment in every woman's life when the mirror stops being just a reflection and becomes a conversation. A silent conversation. Deep. Sometimes filled with questions, other times filled with quiet strength. And what if I told you that after 45, one of the most powerful chapters of a woman's life truly begins? Would you believe it? Because the truth is, maturity is not loss. It is liberation. It is not the end of your glow. It is the moment your glow becomes impossible to ignore. Today, you're about to discover feminine insights that can transform the way you see yourself, position yourself, and feel in the world. Not superficial advice focused only on appearance, but revelations about identity, presence, self-worth, and authentic empowerment. And perhaps the most important truth of all is this: you don't need to become another woman. You only need to reconnect with the complete woman who has always existed within you. Take a deep breath. Because transformation starts now. One of the first shifts that completely changes a mature woman's life is the way she speaks to herself. For decades, many women were taught to prioritize everyone and everything before themselves. Family, career, children, relationships, responsibilities. And along that journey, often without realizing it, they stopped nurturing their own inner voice. But maturity carries a quiet power, self-awareness. After 45, you have lived enough to understand that you no longer need to prove anything to anyone. And this realization creates a rare and beautiful freedom. So here is a simple yet revolutionary insight. Begin treating yourself as someone you deeply love. Notice the tone of your internal dialogue. Replace criticism with kindness. Exchange comparison for admiration. Transform pressure into compassion. When a woman changes her inner dialogue, she changes the world around her. Another transformative shift is redefining beauty. For years, society promoted a narrow definition of youth as the ultimate symbol of value. But maturity reveals a far more magnetic and complex beauty, the beauty of authenticity. Expression lines stop being signs of time passing and become records of stories lived. The gaze grows deeper. Posture becomes more confident. The smile becomes more genuine. A mature woman who understands her beauty doesn't compete with her past, she celebrates her present. And this generates something irresistible: confidence. Confidence is one of the most seductive and powerful energies that exists. Now let's talk about something many women overlook, yet it deeply impacts self-esteem: caring for your image as a form of self-expression, not obligation. Dressing well is not about trends. It's about recognizing yourself in the mirror and enjoying your own presence. Small adjustments create big transformations. Comfortable fabrics that honor your body. Cuts that celebrate your current silhouette. Colors that illuminate your skin. Accessories that reflect personality. When a woman begins dressing for herself rather than external approval, something magical happens. She feels ownership of her space. Ownership of her body. Ownership of her narrative. And that feeling is profoundly liberating. Another powerful transformation is learning to say no without guilt. Many women spend decades associating love with constant availability. But maturity teaches an essential principle: boundaries are acts of self-love. Saying no to what drains you is saying yes to what nourishes you. Saying no to heaviness is saying yes to lightness. Saying no to external expectations is saying yes to authenticity. A woman who sets boundaries communicates respect. And even more importantly, she feels respect for herself. And speaking of respect, there is a frequently neglected aspect: the relationship with the body. After 45, the body changes. Rhythm, energy, metabolism, sensations. These changes are not flaws, they are natural adaptations of a new phase. The secret lies in replacing war with care. Instead of fighting your body, Learn to listen to it. Move with pleasure. Nourish yourself with awareness. Rest without guilt. Self-care stops being a luxury and becomes an emotional necessity. When the body feels cared for, the mind grows stronger. When the mind strengthens, self-esteem blossoms. And here emerges one of the most transformative insights: cultivating pleasure in small moments. Maturity reveals a kind of happiness that doesn't depend on grand events. A quiet coffee, a deep conversation, a moment of silence, a gentle walk, music that awakens memories. These small pleasures create a sense of fullness that no external validation can replace. Another essential dimension is rediscovering dreams. Many women reach 45 believing they have already lived life's main chapters. But maturity opens space for more authentic dreams, because now they are guided by genuine desire rather than social pressure. Perhaps it's learning something new. Perhaps changing careers. Traveling. Starting a business. Living with more softness. It is never too late to begin again when the heart aligns with essence. And speaking of essence, a powerful mature woman understands the value of solitude. Not loneliness, but reconnect. Being alone without feeling empty is one of the strongest indicators of elevated self-esteem. Within that space, she listens to herself, embraces herself, strengthens herself. And paradoxically, the more comfortable she becomes with her own company, the richer her relationships become. Because a complete woman does not seek someone to fill her, she seeks someone to share her abundance. Another transformative trigger is releasing the need for constant approval. After 45, the most important opinion must become your own. This doesn't mean ignoring the world, it means prioritizing your truth. When a woman fully assumes who she is, without asking permission, she inspires other women to do the same. And inspiration is a silent form of leadership. Now let's talk about feminine energy. There is a myth that maturity diminishes magnetism. Reality shows the opposite. Mature feminine energy is deeper, calmer, and far more captivating. It doesn't need to demand attention, it naturally attracts it. This happens because maturity dissolves anxiety for validation and replaces it with presence. And presence is real power. A present woman listens more deeply, feels more intensely, observes with sensitivity, positions herself with firmness. She doesn't need to raise her voice to be noticed. Her essence speaks. Another life-changing insight is nurturing friendships. Superficial connections give way to genuine bonds. Mature women understand that quality surpasses quantity. Friendships that embrace vulnerability, celebrate victories, and encourage growth become emotional pillars. And cultivating these relationships strengthens belonging and support. Speaking of support, an essential step in empowerment is recognizing your own achievements. Many women minimize everything they've accomplished, as if it were simply expected. But pause for a moment, and look at your path. How many challenges have you overcome? How many difficult decisions you made? How many times you reinvented yourself? How many lives you touched? Your story is not ordinary. It is extraordinary. When a woman acknowledges her journey, she sees herself with pride and respect. And this strengthens self-esteem at its deepest level. Another powerful dimension is emotional intelligence. Maturity offers the chance to react less and understand more. To listen before responding. To breathe before deciding. To choose peace over unnecessary conflict. This ability transforms relationships, reduces stress, and increases the feeling of control over your life. Emotional control creates security. Now, something liberating: abandoning comparison. Every woman has her own timing, body, history, and path. Comparison is a trap that steals joy and feeds insecurity. Maturity teaches that the only valid comparison is with who you were yesterday. And when that perspective shifts, a sense of evolution and personal satisfaction emerges. Another empowering trigger is financial autonomy. Regardless of your current level, seeking independence and financial knowledge strengthens security and freedom. Understanding resources, planning your future, and investing in yourself create a solid foundation of self-worth. Freedom is also the feeling that you have choices. And choices expand possibilities. A profound transformation occurs when a woman embraces her sensuality in a mature way. Sensuality is not about age, it is about connection with your body, confident gaze, secure posture, and pleasure in existence. A woman comfortable with her femininity radiates a magnetic aura independent of external standards. Authenticity is irresistible. Now an essential point, caring for the mind. Maturity can bring emotional challenges, but it also opens doors to inner growth. Therapy, reading, meditation, reflection, and self-awareness strengthen mental health and expand consciousness about patterns and limiting beliefs. A nurtured mind sustains a balanced life. And balance generates fullness. Another powerful insight is allowing yourself to start over as many times as necessary. Life has no expiration date for happiness. Changing cities, ending relationships, starting something new, learning skills, reinventing routines, all are part of growth. Starting over is not failure. It is courage. And courage is one of the most empowering qualities a woman can cultivate. Now take a deep breath and absorb this truth. You are not late. You are exactly on time for your story. Maturity is not the end of possibilities. It is the beginning of more conscious choices, healthier relationships, and a deeper connection with who you truly are. You did not lose your glow. You refined your light. You did not lose value. You expanded meaning. You did not lose beauty. You discovered authenticity. We have reached the end of this journey, but perhaps the beginning of a new way of seeing yourself. Today you discovered that self-esteem after 45 is built not only on appearance, but on self-awareness, healthy boundaries, emotional independence, authenticity, and honoring your story. You learned that maturity is a phase of silent power, natural magnetism, and inner freedom, a phase where a woman becomes more complete, more confident, and more aligned with her essence. If this message touched your heart, I invite you to do something meaningful right now. Share in the comments which insight awakened something within you. Your experience may inspire other women navigating this same phase and searching for reconnect with their strength. And if you want to continue receiving content that nurtures self-esteem, femininity, and empowerment in maturity, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. Every video here is designed to remind you of your value, your beauty, and your capacity for transformation. Thank you for walking this path with me. Care for yourself with tenderness. Celebrate your story with pride. And never forget, the best version of you did not stay in the past. She is blooming now.